trending steady.
It's trending on Twitter.
It's huge. It's trending all over the internet.
It is Trending Stories. Dani and Marco here. These stories trending all over the internet. You get them first right here on your Monday morning. What's going on?
Oh, well, I mean, a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's Mambo number 5.
We need a little Mambo something.
Oh, my gosh. Big weekend. Anything happen over the weekend for you?
Well, let's see. It was a busy weekend. I had some hidden jewelry boxes around Frederick for Colonial Jewelers this weekend. Had to give some clues.
Really?
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun.
What?
And we somebody found one in the home of Everything Frederick, and then a second one was hidden in downtown for First Saturday. That's what happened in Frederick this weekend.
Wow, that sounds big. Wish I was there.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to get off to our trending stories here. These happening all over the internet. You get them first before you get to work here. Of course, it's not a sports show here, but we're going to start off, at least on my end, on the Washington Commanders, 4-1. And let me just tell you something. This actually was a game that I wanted to see for two reasons. Number one, everything is becoming so easily. If you haven't been following the Commanders, I know we have some Ravens fans here too. And by the way, next week Ravens Commanders, that'll be a great game.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, the new quarterback, has been flying high. Everything has kind of been going his way. He's the talk of the town. He's the toast of all of the social media, all of the news stations. But this game didn't really start off good. He actually didn't play very well in the first couple of series, and I wanted to see what was going to happen when things weren't going well. He threw a red zone pick. He just looked off. His receivers who had been bailing him out were dropping some balls. It just was off. You know, those games when things just aren't working. And you thought, okay, well, is he going to run and hide? Is he going to fold? Is it going to be back down to earth? And it was a little bit, but you know what? The kid fought back. Threw an amazing touchdown to De'Ami Brown, hit Terry McLaurin on a scramble, and he just continues to defy all odds. Commanders.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to make me sound old, but for a youngster, for a rookie just coming into the league,
a little whippersnapper,
he did not let it get to him. That's what I loved. He shook it off. He just kept getting in there and fighting. And I'm telling you, the kid can hustle. I mean, he's now leading like the rushing touchdowns. Amazing.
Well, yeah, 1,000-yard passer and over 500 yards. Is that what it is? 500 yards rushing?
It was close to. Yeah.
He beat RG3's old record in 5 games. He's just calm. He's poised. He doesn't let stuff get to him. And the Commanders, they are in first place and they are in the driver's seat. And they may have found themselves a quarterback. And that sets up next week because I know in this area we have Ravens fans, we have Commanders fans. Commanders, Ravens. The Ravens had a big win over the Bengals, and they won in overtime. Lamar had probably the play of the year. I don't know if you saw. He fumbled the ball in the pocket in overtime, bent down to get it, ran to the right, did a jump throw out of bounds, and threw a touchdown. And it was incredible to tie it up. And they win. So they lost their first 2 games. They won 3 in a row. The Commanders have won 4 in a row. And there's a big showdown, the Beltway Blast, the Beltway Showdown or whatever.
Oh, I don't know.
Beltway Brawl, that's a good one.
Well, actually, up until this year, it hasn't been. It's been the Beltway rollover, basically.
Wow,
for us.
I mean, the Commanders have not been. And here's what I was telling somebody else. He is, I call him the eraser because he erases bad snaps, bad problems, bad blocks. He can get out, he can do stuff. But it's when you actually have a quarterback that can do things, when you have a viable, we have had such, and by we I mean the Commanders. I know we have some Raven fans out there, but the Commanders have had such terrible quarterbacking that even when somebody is just good, it's a new level for us that we cannot fathom. And he's better than just good. I think he's really, so I'm really excited to see what happens next week. When you got Baltimore against Washington.
Yeah. Well, and again, not a sports show. However, The Savannah Bananas announced their 2025 stadium tour, Baltimore and Washington.
Wow.
So we have 2 opportunities to see the Savannah Bananas. And if you don't know, I brought this up to somebody the other day. They're like, what's that? I'm like, oh my God, how do you not know? They have a 2 million person waiting list to get tickets. It is the biggest phenomenon. And I would say they're an overnight success, except for the Coles. Jesse and his wife, who own the team, have been doing this since 2018 or 2017. They had no money. You got to read the story. He is such an inspiration. I think he is one of the greatest. He's going to be one of the greatest corporate leaders that we've ever seen in directing not only these teams. They actually had just announced they're going to have a championship series to find the Banana Ball champions.
Really?
Here. It's going to be amazing.
You know, and if you don't know this, Savannah Bananas, basically the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, really. But more than that, they really have they've gone outside the box. I like the way, they definitely are. It's an entertainment show for sure, but fun for the whole family. And who would have guessed that this team actually is now like one of the most sought after acts out there?
No one would have. I mean, he got booed in town when they bought the team. They had no money. He was trying to figure it out. He actually did a secret training with a couple baseball players, or like 2 teams, to cut. He actually timed one whole first season when people would leave the game. At what point are people leaving the game? And it was at about the 2-hour mark. So he said, all right, we got to make the games 2 hours. And then he timed something else. When is everybody getting up to go to concession? How long are they waiting in line? What are they doing here? I tell you what, he's got a fans first motto, and the guest experience is the most important thing. And it's just phenomenal to watch how huge this has grown. 4 teams now. They have 4 teams.
It's incredible.
I think they're talking about maybe launching 2 more, maybe in 2025. And I just think it's amazing. And I'm dying to go see them. And a lot of people are like, oh, you got to keep the ticket price low. It's not them. It's not them. $35 includes food at the stadiums. $35.
Took my son to just to eat the other day at Chick-fil-A, and it was $28.
Yeah.
And he's a 4-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So when the tickets go on sale, you got to get yourself into the lottery. Go to the SavannahBananas.com. You can put your name in for the lottery. You can pick the city. And if you get that round of tickets, it is $35 a person. Now,
when is it?
Well, I think they're in June. I can't remember if it's Baltimore first, then DC, or vice versa. June and August, I think we get them here in this area, in the region. But they're doing 25 stadium tour.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Love
it's amazing. It. So get yourself on the in the lottery. Don't buy those tickets through the scalpers, the legalized scalpers and all that. That's when they're $200-$300. That's when they're too much.
Yeah. All right, more trending stories. Now, this is some good news and some weird news. The good news is the dock workers strike came to a halt, so that's good. They're going to, I guess, wait till after the new year. You've heard about that, right?
Yeah. I figured it was going to happen like right after the election or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, New Year, election.
Now, here's what I don't understand. So when the dock workers went on strike, there was a mad dash. Did you see these lines at Costco and at what is the other one?
I've just seen Sam's and all these. I've just seen the empty shelf pictures at all the Targets. I bought no toilet paper. No.
Why is it toilet paper? I don't understand.
Well, it's always toilet paper. I don't get it.
Here's something that you may not know, and if you're watching this and you went out and got toilet paper, you definitely don't know. 85% of U.S. paper demand toilet paper towels, is supplied by U.S. companies made in America here.
They don't need to...
No reason why. Oh, docks are on strike. I'm getting toilet paper. I don't get it. It's so weird.
Well, I mean, and I don't get it with snowstorms either. As soon as it snows, it's like bread, milk, toilet paper. I'm like, what is happening in these people's homes? I don't get it. I don't know. Never do that.
Yeah, but there were lines. I saw one social media post that had line. You know how big Costco is. Down the right side of Costco, all the way down the building, and down the left. They were coming in both sides. Completely and utterly just lines of people waiting to get toilet paper. It's insane. You don't need to do that, folks. You're going to be fine.
No.
You're going to be fine.
It is insane. It is insane. And look, I don't know all the ins and outs of what they're asking for. I do know they're pissed off because I guess it was announced that some automation was going to come in to replace people. And, I get it. Look, we don't like automation, to replace people. However, my thing is be better than the machines. Be better, work better, do have some solutions. I don't know. Don't ask for $90 an hour. And maybe, McDonald's put in the kiosks, Walmart put in self-checkout. Don't get replaced by the machines. Be smarter.
Yeah, and don't run to the store for toilet paper. That's silly. Stop doing that. I don't get it.
All right. In some other news, obviously, we can't get away from mentioning all of the efforts, Hurricane Helene efforts that are happening all over the country. A lot right here in Frederick. We have a lot of organizations that are collecting for the hurricane relief. It has been over 9 days. There are many people who still don't have access to power, which means they have no food, which means they don't have refrigeration for anything, maybe their meds. There's a ton of issues going on down, especially in North Carolina, but certainly Georgia and some of those other states that were hard hit. Please, if you donate, make sure you're donating to an organization that is perhaps a 501c3 or, is working with an association in North Carolina or in the other areas. Don't just drive down to North Carolina and try to help. Though that is gracious and wonderful, hook up with an organization like Pulling for Veterans. They're working with the American Legions in North Carolina to make sure once the stuff gets to North Carolina, there is a group or organization who has the capacity to take it inland to places. Some of these people are saying they're hiking 60 miles to get from where they are to roads that are not washed out. I mean, it's unbelievable, some of the footage that I've seen. Also, they're asking for any civilians who own helicopters to perhaps reach out. There's a couple organizations, if you Google them, you will find them. They need helicopters. They're using just civilians. And look, I think, as Americans, this is what we do. We don't wait for the government. We step up and we do it ourselves. Yeah,
the death toll from Hurricane Helene rose to 215.
Oh, they're saying thousands. They're saying it's thousands that the news media is not reporting. There's so many towns that were just washed. There's no one left.
Asheville, North Carolina is one of the hardest hits. It's
horrible.
Insane. Oh.
And the Appalachians, or Appalachians, as they say, those that live there. I've been following a guy on TikTok whose family is there, and he's been reporting daily on what's happening. And he said it's devastating. I mean, what he described and some of the video footage of bodies, just one of the listings on supplies needed is body bags. So that there's way more than 200. So
yeah, well,
anyway.
Like you said, people step up. Obviously, I'm in country news, so I know Eric Church released a new song on Friday, and all the proceeds are going to help those survivors. Luke Combs donated $500,000. Morgan Wallen and Miranda Lambert is doing a lot for the animals that have been misplaced and stuff like that. So, but I mean, we got to pull together. We got to stick together. At the end of the day, obviously, it's a tumultuous time between political unrest and all the stuff going on in the world these days. But man, when somebody loses everything and they have nothing, and you hear these stories, your heart goes out, and you have to step up and do something.
Absolutely. And this is what I love. And I love the fact that we just say, you know what? We don't care. We're going to go down there. We're going to do what we can. We're going to give what we can. download Eric Church's song. There are you can just share stuff on social media of the organizations that are collecting and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, there it is. Your trending stories for today, Monday. Danny, thanks for joining us. Or I guess it's your show, really. I'm just taking it over. Hey, thanks for joining us on your show. We'll be here each and every Monday morning. I got the windows. You hear people in Toledo drag racing down the street, but that's what I have to deal with on a daily basis.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, at least it's not gunshots and ambulances. There you go.
Not yet.
All right, give that a little time.
That's right. All right, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Love it.